Okay, welcome back. What I want to look at today is Unit 28, Further Mathematics for Technicians, Outcome 2, Algebraic Techniques. Now, you must have done the Mathematics for Technicians in order to understand this concept, because you're working at a higher level now. We're working at agency level. Sorry about that, I've got to try and get my teeth put in. Okay, so now, these are things you need to be familiar with, okay? Make yourself familiar with them, how it's done, what the terms are, etc. Okay, I'm not going to go through that because you should have known a little bit of this yourselves already. Make sure you read, you practice, you write, you study. Okay. And here's where it is assumed that the student has completed the module Mathematics for Technicians. Okay, make sure you have completed that, or at least you've seen it or you've read it. Okay, because it matters. That lays the foundation for doing this kind of work. Okay. Well, arithmetic progression. Consider the sequence of numbers 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. This is a progression that starts at 3 and is increased by 2 each time. So we say the common difference is D equals 2. And D represents the difference. And the starting value is a 3. Okay? Now the sum of n terms is called an arithmetic series. To find this, we would have to add them all up. The sum Sn would be etc. This you need to write out for yourself. I don't need to read this out to you. Okay? This is something that you would have acquired from the mathematics course you would have done already. It is fundamental that you implement this for yourself and you understand the concept, so that you learn from your own and by your own style of learning. It is very essential that you learn by your style of learning. Okay? And it shows you your formulas here, okay? Bear that in mind. Now, let's look at an example. And should I make the example bigger? My view is yes. Let me bring up the example, make it the example bigger, just for our own edification. Let me just see what I can do with this to make sure that I am in frame and in view. Okay. Yes, I can go with that. Yes, can I go with that? How about on my own? 1 second. I'm missing something to show. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go back to that. Right, what this is saying here, show that the formula derived above gives the correct answer for the sum of the progression. Okay. Let me just minimize that a little bit so that we can make sure it can be seen by everyone. Okay, and that I have not missed or anything. Okay, good. I'm happy with that so far. Okay, let me again enlarge. Okay, and solution. Simply adding them up gives Sn equals 25. For this progression, n equals 5, d equals 2, and a equals 1. Using the formula, now you need to apply the formula and you need to write this out for yourself. Okay? The reason why you're going to write it out for yourself is that you understand in your own style of learning how this is implemented. And what you then need to do is to compare the formula to the solution. So let us look at so what you're looking at is the formula which they've given you, how to apply it that it gives you the correct solution. Okay. And here you can see here they're giving you the using the formula gives you etc etc etc. Okay. Now you need to work this out to make sure that you understand the concept of it. Okay. And that you can see how they got 25. Now you need to work this out so you can understand the progressive steps made. I'm not going to tell you those because the way I look at it might be different. You might see it from a different perspective, and that is what you need to be aware of. Okay, learning from your own style of learning. Okay. Okay, evaluate the values, the first 20 terms of the progression 4 plus 8 plus 12, etc. Okay, solution. A equals 4, the first value. D equals 4, the difference between each number. N equals 20. Y 20, 20 comes from here. Okay, 4 is here. Okay, the difference is also 4. Okay, because it goes up to 8, etc etc etc. Now again, you need to be familiar and again write out your formula. Put it into stages, and this is the answer you should arrive at. If you do not arrive at this answer, there must be something wrong. Okay, so you're doing something wrong, so reevaluate your progression on that. Okay. Now, a manufacturer of steel bars, etc., etc., battery of 10 meters, and calculate the. 1 second, I've gone over too far. Let's make sure I can get everything in. Okay, sorry about that. I'm off. Good. Just drop down one. Drop down one. 1 second, bear with me. To make sure that we can get this into play. Okay, yes, we can. Okay. Now, when you look at this, it's important that you look at the information, and you're going to extract the information because you need that information in order to put it into the equation. Write out the arithmetic progression and the formula for calculating the cost of an order. Calculate the charge for 200 meters. Now, so what you're going to be looking at, etc., the progression, the cost of n batches, and again you need to write out the formula for 200 meters. Okay, so again look for your information and extract it from the data given. And now you're looking at putting it into the equation, and again this is something for you to do yourself. Put it into the equation, write the equation out, write it out on old-fashioned paper. I know that's a hard word to do, and use old-fashioned paper and pen. You cannot go wrong. Okay. And here are some self-assessment. Never mind my writing, I used this to do a lesson previously on a number of occasions. Now here you have the answers given. But be aware that sometimes the answers can be incorrect. So once you follow the procedure and you have implemented the correct formulation, then your answer should always come out to this. But it's very rare that we have incorrect answers from Mr. Dunn's work. Okay, I am quite pleased with his work actually, quite a lot. Okay. And here we have something called geometric progression. Now, I would suggest you read up on this a bit more and be aware of the values and how it is implemented. I'm not going to try to read this to you because what you need to do is to read it for yourself and look at it from your perspective and adapt your own style of learning. Do some additional research in regards to the formulation of the geometric series. Okay, and here we have your formulation. I tell you how it is done. Once you write it out, you should be able to become familiar with it. Remember, you have got to know this yourselves. Okay, when you're sitting in the exam room, you have got to be able to bring that formula back up, or even if formula is given, that you know how to use it. Okay. Book example. Okay. Find some of the first 6 terms of the geometric progression. Okay, etc., etc. Okay. And we have the metric regression here at 635 overall. Now again, bear in mind what you're going to be doing and the steps you need to implement to achieve that. And here's another work example. Okay, and another. Okay. And here we have some self-assessment. Now again, do some of these for yourselves so you can see practice makes perfect. Practice, practice, practice. Okay. This brings back down a little bit. I can just make sure it's in screen. Okay. And let me just pan back. I need to make sure that I can get this full screen so everyone can see it. Okay. Be with me again for a moment. There we are. Ignore my scribbles, okay? Just this is just me reminding myself what I'd done when I delivered the mathematical work. Okay. I'm panning back now because I want to be sure that it is all in frame, giving you the opportunity to zoom in if you need to at any point in time. Okay. Oh, goodness me. Let me just bring this down a little bit. This looks like some work I did already. Okay. Okay, now this is my solution for one I did, and this, you don't have to follow this. Okay, this is purely just for information only, because I might be totally incorrect, and the way that you approach it is different to how I approach it. Okay, but again, it is your style of learning that matters. Adapt and find that style of learning for yourself. Write out the information. Do not think you can just learn it off the screen. Okay. Is that it? Oh, okay. Oh goodness me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Let me see if we get a marker. Put this on here. No, that should be give me a draw. Draw. Let me just see what to come up with. Okay. 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 Okay, I gotta save you. Hang on a second, let me make sure I got you in view. I got you on the side. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. Just save it. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'm hoping that did I get it? Let me just check if I got it in. Sometimes it doesn't always it does work. Thank you. Okay, it doesn't always work at times. Okay, thank you for your time and have a good day. Now look at the example I've done. You may decide that you can have a different way of doing it. Feel free to do so, okay? But that's my process of looking at it. Thank you. Bye-bye.